long purple aubergine. So I grew these last year. I was very impressed with these. It's a well-known long fruited aubergine. We've chosen a strain maintained by the seed house of, forgive my pronunciation on this, Pieter Pixzonnen in the Netherlands. There we are. And Dourga, D-O-U-R-G-A, white aubergine, sent to us by Jen Bonzik as the best and earliest aubergine she could find to grow on her small holding high in the Pyrenees mountains. The long white fruits are produced in large numbers and it fruits for ages. So chilies, peppers, aubergines, etc., they like a nice long growing season. So I like to plant them now. So relatively early still. Hello, Dan here, 18th of May, and today I'm going to be planting out some varieties of aubergine. So I've got two varieties here. The first is long purple and the second is white Dourga. So we'll see just how we do with these. And we're going to be planting many of them out here in this bed in the polytunnel. And it's done a no-dig style. It's my own ground here underneath it, so that's relatively sandy soil, very well draining, and I've added mulch to it over time, and also on the top here some relatively well composted horse manure mixed with a little bit of wood chip, about 10%. So aubergines like a fertile but yet well draining growing medium. They like plenty of water and plenty of heat, so you're looking at a minimum temperature ideally of about 25 degrees C, 77 Fahrenheit. Can't always achieve that. Ideally, I say ideally, if you go down to about 20 degrees C they should be fine, but you know, sort of 25 to about 30 would be kind of ideal, but we are in the UK at the end of the day, USDA Zone 8B here. That's one reason why I grow them in the polytunnel here, to give a nice warm microclimate. Anyway, without further ado, they need plenty of water. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is watering where I'm going to plant them. So I'm going to have a couple of plants here. So I'm going to add some nice water here. So this is rainwater from one of my water butts. So I put that down here, thoroughly saturate the soil, and it should help to give them a good start. But what I am going to do also is add some additional growing medium. So horse manure here, relatively well composted. Once again, going to be putting some of that here to give them a nice growing medium so they can get a good start, plenty of nutrients for hopefully nice strong plants and a lovely strong crop. Right, so let's put some horse manure down here and get 2 plants in here, I reckon. Let's have a look at what we've got. So we'll put a long purple aubergine in here. So what we'll do is just pop that out. Now that looks wonderful, doesn't it? Really strong. I was very impressed with these last year. They did very well. And I'm simply going to set it here. All I do, make a little hole in the growing medium, pop the plant in. Depth-wise, let's see what feels right at the time. Push that in like that. So below that bottom leaf, I'm about 1 centimetre or so below that, like that. I've knocked that one off, but that should be okay. It's a bit weak anyway. Leave my tag on, and that's basically it. Try and get it as upright as you can. Could be a good idea to put a stake in there. I might do that at a later date. And let's see what we got here. So we'll just make our little hole like this, about 1 foot apart, 30 centimetres, and all we do is pop that in. And that, once again, is it. So that's setting some aubergine plants. Now, you may have noticed that, well, you probably do know, these are not hardy plants. So to get them to this state, what I did was I germinated them inside, then brought them out here. So ideally, I didn't want to subject them to temperatures below about 10 degrees C, which is around 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I did was put them in polystyrene trays, and I moved them inside and out here. So when it got cold, they went back inside. Certainly at night time, they went inside. And then when you plant them out, you want to plant them out after risk of frost has passed. They won't tolerate frost. So I'll show you the containers I used in order to get them to this state. So here they are, polystyrene containers. You can put some water in the bottom, and I moved them in and out. And a really easy way of doing it, time efficient. You can move a whole load out and in. See, I've got some sunflowers in here and tomatoes still waiting to go out. But I found this a very good way of doing it. If you leave them inside on your windowsill, they can go leggy. You don't want that. So out here as soon as you can, but then always remain vigilant. They don't take frost, and ideally don't subject them to less than about 10 degrees C, 50 Fahrenheit. They did get a little bit below that some days, but ideally you don't want to be doing that. Now here's one for you. Excuse-moi. Now, got some sharp sand here. One thing I've noticed, particularly when they're young, is slugs, snails, etc. seem to want to eat these, and I'm going to make a little circle, a sand circle, what about that then, around my plants in order to help stop slugs, snails, etc. from feasting on these. And all we do is make a nice circle. I don't buy the horticultural sharp sand. This is builder's sharp sand. It's often cheaper if you get the builder's sharp sand. And all we do is just put that in like that. There we are. So keep them moist. Don't allow them to dry out. Wouldn't hurt to put a stake in and tie them to a stake, but these should be okay for the time being. And yeah, we shall now await our crops. So we'll grow some in containers as well. Now these aren't really big enough, but it's what I've got. So I'm going to top up this one here with some of the manure. Once again, it's my own soil here, the majority of it, so well draining sandy soil. And we'll have another one here as well. There'll probably be a little bit of compost mixed in with it because I keep a lot of my growing mediums. I often like to do that because you never know when one is going to need them. So we'll just do this sort of thing, and we can get a little bit more look in this one, as much as we can, because you really want, especially in a pot, you need as much nutrients as you can, much good nutritious growing medium as you can get. Now there we are. That is that, and we're going to water it in. Plenty of water. Here we are. Let's see what we've got. So let's put a long purple in. It's a nice strong plant there. So initially planted 9th of the 1st, repotted on the 6th of March. And if I remember correctly, when I repotted them, I used a bit of multi-purpose compost. And yeah, I just used multi-purpose compost. It would have been a good idea to have got some, compost with a bit more sort of body to it. Maybe some of your own homemade compost or some vegetable compost, but I don't think I did that, but that would have been a good thing to have done. Anyway, here we are. So what we'll do is we'll pop this in here like that, long purple, push that down, hope you can see, hope my arm's not in the way, and that's it, there we are. And we'll have a Dourga white, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, pop that in, pop the plant out, get your hand, push in, firm down, and there we are. So what else we got? Now, even though it's up here, slugs, snails, etc. could still get up here, and what we do is we simply put our sharp sand around it like this. It's said that they don't like to put their bodies over the sand, I suppose it makes you think of when you're at the beach, really, when sand can be a bit uncomfortable in certain places, can't it? But so there we are. Let's await our hopefully huge crops. So 2nd of August, and here I stand with some of my aubergine plants. So Dourga white set a nice aubergine there. The fruit is starting to swell now, and let's have a closer look at the plants so we can see where we are at this stage. So I've got some chilies, peppers here as well, etc. But now, there you go, that's the Dourga white, will get bigger. And let's have a look, got a lovely flower there as well. So what's this one here? Let's have a look. Now this is long purple. I can't see any fruit set yet. So we'll talk a little bit about pollination. Now, to my knowledge, the majority of aubergines are self-fertile, meaning they can produce fruit from the pollen of their own flower. So if you look at that there, look. Now that's a beautiful flower, very ornamental. So what you can do if you want though, is you can just help to move the pollen around the flower like that, to help it a little bit. You could hopefully, let the bees do it for you, etc., pollinating insects, if they're coming to the area where the aubergines are. But if you want to help along like that, just do that, and might help things along a little bit. And can't see any other fruits at this stage here, but we shall be patient, and there's still plenty of time because it's only early August. I look down here amongst these. What variety is this one? This one's Dourga white as well. And then once again, no fruit set as yet. If one wants, you could even use your finger, to be honest, just to gently move that pollen around that flower there. You don't want to do it too hard, don't want to damage. But no fruit set as yet, but once again, as I stated earlier, plenty of time. So we shall await our harvests from these beautiful aubergines. Hello, 28th of August, and here I am, and I'm about to pick some aubergines. So 2 varieties, long purple and white Dourga I'm growing here, and I wish to have one of each. So I'll show you a little bit about how I'm going to pick them, and I'll show you how I identify when they're ready to pick. So we'll start here with the white Dourga. So if you look at that, I hope it's coming up on the camera, you can see that's still quite shiny there. And this one here as well, long purple, this is also shiny. So I like to pick my aubergines whilst they're still shiny. So you can see these, look, with a close-up. See the shine on that one there. And here, look, you can see the shine on here. So these are ready to pick. An overripe aubergine can look a little bit on the dull side, so it's nice to pick them whilst they're still shiny. Like it to be more fresh that way, more tasty. So here we go, look, you can see the stem there, look. So the aubergine, then the stem where it connects to the plant. All I do is cut it there, look. There we are, freshly picked aubergine. And this variety here, so long purple, I've noticed, has a longer stem than white Dourga. That doesn't matter. Treat it the same, cut it there. There we go. Another nice aubergine there. So quite interesting when I look at these aubergines here. The white Dourgas, they've got like spines, you see, on there, look. A little bit on the sharpish side. Might be why I've never seen these for sale in the supermarket, whereas these long purple ones, they're kind of smooth. So very interesting. Now, I grew a variety last year, and that was called Check Early. They were a smaller aubergine, or they are a smaller aubergine, and one thing I noticed is they never actually went shiny, or not as shiny if I remember correctly, so a little bit more difficult to identify, you know, when to pick those. So I went through a little bit of trial and error with those. I might grow them again next year. They were a nice aubergine actually, but very happy with these. Plenty more to come. So I'll show you something you can do with plants to bush them out a little bit if you want, and that can also encourage them to ripen the fruit they've got on them a little bit quicker. This could be particularly important, let's say if we were a bit further on in the year, say maybe around October time, when the colder weather could either be here or is on the way. It can be good to get the plant to really encourage quicker fruiting. You can even do it earlier in the season if once again you want to encourage quicker fruiting as well. So I'll just show you something. So we'll take this plant here, this long purple. So got a fruit here and another one here, and of course the one I've already picked. So I've actually got another flower here which could potentially set me some fruit, which is wonderful. So let's say we're a little bit further on in the year, maybe around late September time, mid-September. Cold weather could maybe be on the way, signs of it or whatever, and I want to quickly get that to produce. And as I stated before, you can do this earlier in the year as well for a little bit of quicker fruiting potentially. So what I'm going to do actually is just cut the top off there. So now this isn't actually going to be putting out much growth from the top. Once again, this one here. Now I've got my fruit here. I've got to be careful I don't cut it below the fruit because I want this fruit to stay on a bit longer. So there we go there, just where it's grapevines growing into it. So there we are, and this one here. So that will encourage that to bush out a little bit. Now another reason for doing this potentially earlier in the year is you could prune it like this, and then it could even encourage it to set more fruit quicker, flowers etc. down here, to then potentially get more fruit. So these are just little things that you can play around with if you want. So we'll talk a little bit about feeding. So I made the decision not to feed these at all. I'm confident with the growing medium, and I like to keep feeding to a minimum anyway if I can. I like to think more about building soil quality over time, but I do feed certain things sometimes. So if one wanted, they could feed their aubergine plants with something like this. So this is Maxi Crop Extractor Seaweed Plus Organic Tomato Natural Fertilizer. You could use something like that. Follow the instructions. So what I would probably do is once the flowers start to appear, then start to feed. And with something like this, so it's 30 mils of product, 1 capful with 6 litres in a watering can, apply the solution around the base of plants every 7 days. So you could do something like that. So follow your manufacturer's instructions, that's a good one, but you could feed if you wish, and that could potentially give you a better crop yield. So there we go. 2 lovely aubergines to cook up. Isn't that wonderful? So plenty more to come over there, and plenty more to come on the plants growing in the ground in the polytunnel. So you probably worked out the ones growing in the containers are coming into cropping quicker. That can be because the plants growing in containers, they're under more stress, so therefore they set their crop quicker because the plant wants to reproduce seeds, etc. So there we are. Also the fact that the roots have only got a certain amount of space they can grow in, the plant potential size can be smaller in a container than in the ground, so that can also lead a plant into cropping, fruiting, etc. quicker. Anyway, plenty more to come, and next video, or sorry, next installment on this video will probably be picking some of the ones in the ground. So isn't that wonderful? So 12th of October, and going to pick these lovely Dourga whites. So let's have one there, look. Nice aubergine there. And we've got a nice other Dourga white there. So nice aubergines. I could have left them a little bit longer, but going to pick them now, and 2 lovely specimens of aubergine there.